Hey, this is Ryan Richardson for EDU 528, looking at adding sports. I chose to add men's soccer. I'm from a small school district in Boone County, Missouri, Harrisburg, where we currently, in the fall, offer football, and then that is the only male sport that is there that we offer. So there's definitely a need or at least an opportunity for us to add another male sport. We also have female cross country, um, women's golf, and softball. So this would provide us an opportunity to maybe level the playing field a little bit as far as numbers go for male to female sports. And there is a little bit of a need for it. As far as participation numbers, I would anticipate that it would be a slow start. To start a soccer program as for numbers go. I look back to when we added football to our school district, and our numbers started in the 20s for a football team. We're about in year 5 right now, and our numbers for the football program is growing to roughly about 38, 40 kids. And it helped us. We're about at that point in the cycle now where our middle school kids have had a full cycle through the school system. So I would think our number of participants, if we were going to start a program, we would probably start in the 15 to 20 range, which obviously is not where we need to be, but it would be close to that. And I think it would grow over the course of quite a few years whenever we get a whole middle school program through that. Kind of go into the spreadsheet here a little bit. When we're looking at inventory, you're obviously going to need some jerseys, and I found through BSN some Nike jerseys that are roughly $55 a piece. I went ahead and thought that even though our numbers might be in the 15 to 20 range, to go ahead and order 30 of them with the anticipation that it is going to grow over the course of 4 or 5 years, and hopefully that the jerseys last that long. So that would put us roughly at a purchase of $1,650. And obviously you need the shorts to go with it. So we ordered 30 more of those at $40 a piece for about $1,200. According to Misha, our soccer ball that we need is a Wilson NCAA Forte. And I thought a good number for that would be around 15 balls, with the anticipation that they are still going to last too. In total, the 15 balls, hopefully anywhere from 3 to 5 years, and depending on the usage, obviously, and making that big of a purchase, we can chip away at 4 or 5 balls a year or two just to keep them up to date if we need to at a later date and time. With us not having a soccer field or equipment right now at our school, we would need to purchase 2 goals, and this is really where the bulk of our ordering comes from, with each goal costing around $2,265 a piece. So that's going to put us right around $4,500 for 2 goals. Again, that does seem like a lot, but these goals are hopefully going to stay around for quite some time. They're made out of steel, and we won't have to replace anything, but maybe the nets every few years on that. We're going to need some pennies for practice. This is where I thought that we had a chance to save some money. So I went with just some basic nylon pennies, around 24 of them. So I actually went ahead and ordered just 2 dozen, and cost us right around $90 for that. And I thought that would be enough to get us started, and not a lot of money for us to add or replace them when we need to if our numbers grow. We need to be able to stripe the field for games, so we needed a striper, and that ran us basically about $85, $86 there. And I don't think that wasn't too bad. That's just one striper, so hopefully just one coach would just do that. And if we needed to, for whatever reason, again, that's not a huge purchase, we could add another one later on if we wanted to expedite the process of painting a field. I thought we also needed had heavy-duty mesh equipment bag. I got us 2 of those, one for varsity and one for JV when those numbers grow, or one for game days and one for practice days. That had the equipment in there at $7.99 a piece, so roughly $16 there. And then we needed some cones for practice, and they came in a dozen. I thought a dozen was probably enough to get us started, and so I just made one purchase of a dozen there, right around $16. So that brings our total just in equipment to really get the program started to roughly about $9,000, $86.75, which I thought is pretty high at first looking at it. But when you look through most of those purchases, you're looking at one-time purchases, or at least a one-time purchase every 4 or 5 years. And obviously with the bulk of that total cost coming from the goals, which hopefully are going to be there for many, many, many years to come if taken care of. So if I was an AD, I would probably budget right around roughly $10,000 just in case we saw some unforeseen things, or maybe when we got a coach hired, he wanted to add a couple different things to that. Kind of going to scroll and get to looking here at our home games. It's hard to tell what a schedule would look like right now because there's not many area small schools that have a soccer team our size. So again, this is a very rough estimate. But when we were to have a home game, I know that we would need obviously 3 officials, is what Misha tells us. I figured we'd need 2 gatekeepers and 2 people working a concession stand. And the officials are going to make roughly about $65 a game. So we would be paying out roughly $200 a game in referees, $20 in gatekeepers, and then the hope is that our school would sponsor, senior class sponsor, or Stuco sponsor would run the concession stand, and we wouldn't have to pay anybody for that, and it would be volunteered, and it wouldn't be out of our pockets. So when it's all said and done, for us to host a home game, just in paying staff and getting everybody that need to, we'd be right around $215. Away games, the travel, total estimate on that, I put the total cost, average cost would be right around $75 with around 10 away games, and that would bring our total $750. Again, that's a very rough estimate. Could be significantly higher or significantly less than that, depending on what area schools we could get when the cycle come around on our schedules. To kind of finish up where we're at on the program, looking here at coaches' pay. Obviously, we want our head coach and hopefully also the assistant coach to be a school district employee, so this would just be a stipend on top of their already made salary. And we've kind of looking around at some other districts and what they pay their soccer coaches. I thought $4,500 for a very small program just getting started was a pretty fair price. Excuse me, as well with an assistant coach right around $3,100. So we would be paying roughly $7,600 every year for that. As far as attendance for the home games, it's hard to tell. I know our community supports almost all of our programs pretty heavily. So my goal would be with our attendance in the gate that hopefully we would break even with what it costs for us to pay the officials. So that'd be roughly around $2,000 most likely by the end of the season. And that's what I anticipate from the gate. If we could break in with the referees on that, we would be doing pretty good. So in our school, is there a need for another sport? I definitely think there is. We just built a brand new outdoor stadium about 4 years ago for football. We have a beautiful, beautiful facility, great field, great track around it. And being able to put another sport on that field, although, it might take a little bit more maintenance, I think it'd be great ability for us to kind of show that off to the surrounding communities. As well, Columbia being within 15 minutes, Columbia's expanding every year. So our school attendance has went up every year. And I think this puts us ahead of the curve and also makes our school district and an area a little bit more appealing to the public when they're moving, that we can make those contributions early and opportunities for an athletic career for kids. So to kind of cap it all off, I do think this is a great opportunity for the Harrisburg School District. I don't think, obviously it's going to take, probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $20,000 to get this program started, which does seem quite expensive first. But most of those purchases, like I said, are one-time purchase. And I think that for a relatively low price, I would guess anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 a year, we could keep this program rolling and not have too many obstacles in the way or take a big loss in pay. Either I think we could help boost the overall student population and morale of the school as well. Thank you.